So, the topic for today's discussion with respect to the placement activity is the group discussion. So, this is one of the predominant activity that has been carried out in most of the placement process. So, let us look into the topic called the group discussion. So, when we start the topic called group discussion, we need to know the few preliminary requisites. So, regarding the group discussion, the first and the foremost is we need to know what is a group. When we talk about the group, it's a collection of individuals who are having a regular contact and frequent interaction and who work together to achieve the common set of goals. So these kind of gathering or a group of people is said to be a group. Then what is a discussion? When we talk about the discussion, it is the process where two or more people exchange the information. So this is very important. What's happening in the discussion? It is exchange of what? Exchange of information. The first thing is here, when we talk about discussion here, it happens between two or more people with respect to the exchange of information. Not only information, they also exchange the ideas. And in face-to-face situation to achieve a goal. This kind of activity is said to be a discussion. The goal, end product, might be to increase the knowledge or an agreement leading to some action with respect to the main discussion. This is what we call it as discussion. Then who will be conducting the group discussion? That important question we need to know out. That is, who holds the GD? GD means the group discussion, means who will be conducting. Group discussion is popularly labeled as GD in popular methodology because it's a best approach in order to process of selecting the candidates. It might be used by many organizations. When we talk about the organization, it might be a companies, institute, business schools, etc. These days, to gauge whether the candidate has a certain personality traits. When you call about the traits, the hindering or the drawbacks. So to find out such kind of individual personality traits, these kind of group discussion have been conducted. Who is conducting this group discussion? It is obviously, it might be a companies, institutes. When you say about institutes, it might be educational institutes or by the business schools. In order to understand the personal traits of a person, such as, what are those traits? Interpersonal communication skill, the confidence with respect to the public speaking, the team spirit, leadership capabilities and social behavior, and also with respect to the problem solving skills. So to know or to assess these properties with respect to an individual candidate, group discussions are held by the companies. GD is an important form, okay, or the process of shortlisting the candidates for recruitment with respect to the admission in any of the company or a institution. Means this GD is an important process for the recruitment process. So most of the organization or a companies which they come for the placement activities, they mandatorily have this process in the recruitment activities. So these are the important things that has been held with respect to GD. Next, how is GD conducted? We have seen who holds the GD. Now how the GD will be conducted. In this methodology, there are usually 7 to 8 participants in the group. This number of participants may vary depending upon the process of conduction. So usually when you conduct a GD, there would be around 7 to 12 participants. So that kind of group strength will be usually used for assessing or conduction of a GD. The group of candidates is given with a topic or a situation, or sometimes an abstract information or a case study also, and it's been given to them with a limited period of time in order to assess it, understand it, or gather the information. When we talk about the time period is given, it is not that they are given 2 hours, 3 hours, or a day, or half a day time. They would be giving a maximum of 10 minutes or a 15 minutes of time. What are the candidates supposed to do in those period of time, that is a 5 or 10 minutes or 15 minutes? Candidates has to recall or gather the information about the given topic. After this, the group of candidates are then asked to discuss on the topic provided among themselves for a specific duration of time. Means when we tell that specific duration, they are allowed to express their thoughts, the ideas, or exchange the information. The duration would be varying from 10 minutes to 40 minutes. Okay, which might vary from company to company, or from one person to another person who conducts the GD. So mainly they are given 10 minutes of preparation time. After the preparation of time, the GD process will be conducted for a maximum of 10 to 40 minutes, in which the participants are allowed to exchange the information or express their ideas or the thoughts. While the group discussion is pertaining to the issue, the moderators or the panelists or the judges observe each candidate on various predetermined parameters. Means the person who conduct the GD, there might be a moderators, there might be a panelists or the judges. They observe each and every participant individually. It is not that, though it is called a group discussion, here the attention is given to each and every person on various parameters. What are those parameters? We'll look in the later sessions. Okay, here they observe all these things of individual persons based on various parameters, and they score the person. They score each candidate. This is how the GD is conducted. In this process, each person gets a different score based on his performance. So the group discussion can be referred to as a communication situation that allow participants to share their views and opinions with the other participants. Or it can also be stated as it is a systematic exchange of information, views, opinions, but on a particular topic. It might be on a problem, or it might be on an issue or a situation among the members of the group who share for some common objective. Here the main common objective is the selection process. This is about how GD is conducted. Next, we'll see why GD is so important. When we talk about the importance of GD, it helps to evaluate whether the candidate is right fit for the organization. This is the first parameter we'll consider for the importance of GD. Second, it helps to assess how participants performs under different situations in the group. Third point, we can recall it as it helps to judge how one conceptualizes and maneuvers his ideas through the discussion. This is very important. How we conceptualize the concepts or the situation or the topic, and maneuvers means how he expresses or convinces the others participants in the group discussion. This is an important thing why GD is so important, because here we see the person's leadership skills and how he enacts or convinces the others with respect to his thoughts and views. The fourth one, it helps in analyzing the candidate's attitude also, because when we know that a person expresses, there are many ways of expressing. Some politely express and some very rudely express that, and some cooperate with others' ideas or thoughts. Means here we are able to assess or analyze the candidate's attitude towards the fellow members through one's communication and interpersonal skills. And also very important, here we are also able to identify the candidate's listening ability. A good person or a good leader is also said to be a good listener. This is the important things. Then humility and the tolerance for others' ideas and opinions is also important. So that is the fourth point where GD is so important. When we talk about the fifth point, it helps in shedding light on candidates' leadership and managerial skills, problem solving skills, analyzing skills, and also thinking and knowledge with respect to diverse topic, because topics are given randomly at that instance of time. How he is able to handle the situation, handle the topic, matter, his skills, leadership skills, these thoughts or attitudes towards the approaching of a problem. All these things are assessed here. That's why we call this GD is so important in the recruitment process. Then we'll see, does the use of certain words affect one's performance in the group discussion? We'll look into it. Words that affect in GD. There are few words. Many of them say, sir, will the particular usage of words, will it be a problem in GD? Yes, obviously, there are some words which causes or which affects one's performance in a GD. So what are those things? In that, the first category is called the filler words. What are those filler words? Those filler words are one's own language. We need to remove the filler words. Means in the one's own particular pronunciation or communication, one has to remove those filler words. So what are those filler words? Filler words are the words that are uttered when a person forgets or when a person is not able to get the words to express. So he uses a particular words in order to fill those gaps. You might have seen sometimes during the continuous speaking or a speech, a person uses the word these are called filler words. Sometimes when they don't get the vocabulary, they say those are very beautiful things and it is a sort of, this is also a filler word, sort of. And sometimes they use this is a type of, see the words, the type of. And sometimes some of the people use, well, you know, they keep on using these words, well, you know. And other category, some of the people be using, you know, at the starting of every words or every sentence, they keep on using, you know that, you know. So these kinds of words like uttering a word while speaking in a long phrase, while speaking, and sometimes they use the word a sort of, a type of, well, and some people use you know. These kinds of words are said to be the filler words. So when you use these words, it is very clear the person who is assessing you will be able to gauge that this person has limited vocabularies or he is not able to continuously talk. He is recalling what has to be talked. So here the communication is also assessed. So one person, the person who is able to talk, so has to avoid the first is called the filler words. Second type of things is the link words. What are the link words? The link words is when people want to make the statement soft, means these link words makes one's statement a soft or a polite, means it is not as strong, a good predefined, a structured statement. These words make the person's statement a soft or not much a powerful statement. What are those words? Means in other words we can say that link words are the words that a person's expression before they say what they really mean. Means these words are used before as a prefix before what they want to speak exactly. Like, by the way, this is the link word, they start with that. And some people start using the word but. Always they use this word but. linking this word to every statement every time, but, and some people use however. They keep on using this word however, because when we talk about the words like what, how, when, these are the things which we use to ask questions. So but still, see, look here, they're using the but, by the way, however, and even they use the one more word, two words, that is incidentally. Always they use it. If suppose I want to say I came to the office, they use this word incidentally I came to the office. So total meaning has been changed here. So these kinds of words are called link words. So one person or a person, he or she, when you are in a group discussion, try to avoid these kinds of words. First one is the filler words. Try to avoid it, and also link words. Do not utilize those link words in your vocabularies. So that gives a clear notion to the judges that that person or a participant is trying to manage with the vocabulary. It doesn't have a continuous or continuity with respect to the flow of words. So next is, suppose when you want to have empathy for the statement, what to make. So what are those words? We call it as empathetic words. So when you want empathy, what are those words that you are supposed to add? So simple thing. What do you mean by empathy? Empathetic words mean showing the ability to understand and share the feeling. So it's like sympathy. Okay, when someone says, or when you want to say something and get a sympathy from others, so please use these words. What are those words? Definitely. When someone says XYZ is red, you should say definitely I accept that XYZ is red, and also I like to say that it is also blue. Means you are accepting one's opinion and also requesting your opinion to be accepted. So empathy has been done. So first word is definitely. Secondly, honestly can be used, and must, and actually, and also frankly, literally. These are the few words that would gain empathy from the other participants. Or if you want to show empathy to others' opinion, ideas, or the thoughts, these words can be used. By spoken English, many of our people, I have seen this, many students say, sir, my spoken English is very poor, and GD is around the corner. It looks for the complete person who is very good at English. So is there any short fixed solution to maximize my chances? Many of them ask this question. So you should feel that it is not that though your English is good or bad, you should not worry about that. And there is no short fixes for any of the work. Always practice makes perfect. So there is no shortcuts. Always do the practice. So when we talk about this part, how to fix or maximize the opportunities or chances in a GD, you should make it clear what is important is effectiveness. It is not, or rather than the ability to speak fluently or using the big words. You students, make it yourself clear. Speaking effectively is very important, rather than continuously speaking or just by using big words. You would not be a very good person with respect to the spoken English. Use the language, and your speaking should be effective in order to make the other persons understand. This is the best opportunity. This is the only solution that you can have, so that you can fix with your GD. Then you can participate with some simple statement like the following. When you wanted to give your opinion or agree with the opinion, what are the things that needs to be used? First one, I think we should. This is a very interesting one. You can add this as a prefix to express the agree, or if you agreed, or if you wish to express your opinion, this phrase can be used. That is, I think we should. Second one, I think the correct approach is, means here in this you are expressing your opinion, that saying that yours might be wrong, But you are not directly very harshly saying on his face, you are wrong. You are saying that this is okay, but this would be the better thing. In that cases, others accept your statements. If you directly say it to any of the person on his face, you are wrong, that is very hard or very rude kind of behavior. So you should be very polite in that nature. So these kind of statements can be used. The third statement that you can be using in order to express is, I am in agreement with what you have just said. This is one more thing. Means you are accepting the other's opinion also. And you can also say, I would like to add the following. Means I am okay with your opinion, but I am also adding few points in addition to your opinion. These are the 4 main phrases that can be used in order to express your opinion or agreement with respect to others. Now let us look into the few things how you can express that disagreement. It is always good not to say directly on a person's face, no, that is wrong, that hurts others. And you can't say, no, I don't agree with your opinion, this is rude. So don't do like this. Be polite. You should make others realize what you said is not exactly the right thing. I would be obliging with the things. You should convince them about their opinion. How to do this? To express the disagree, you can use these following 4 statements. First one, I don't agree with the idea. You are politely saying that I don't agree with your idea. Right? No problem. It should be said in a polite nature. Second one, I differ on this issue. I think we should. Means I differ with this issue. Means I have a different opinion with this scenario, with this case. Means you are not okay with the things what he said. This is one more way of expressing your disagreement. Third one, maybe we should consider the following. Means what you have expressed is wrong, so let us take up this as a new opinion. This is one more way of expressing your disagreement. Fourth point, I feel we should or we should not do this. Means what you said might not be right. Rather than doing that, we can do this. These are the 4 ways of expressing the disagreement. Next, how to seek clarification. During the group discussion, sometimes you need to have a clarifications. You cannot accept everything what others says. It doesn't mean that you should accept everything. Sometimes in order to proceed with the group discussion, you need to have a bit of clarification. For this process, you can use 2 phrases. What are those? You cannot say, what you said, repeat it again. This is very harsh. Instead of doing these kind of things in a group discussion, you can use 2 phrases. What are those? Could you please restate what you just said? This is so polite and convincing that the person feels like repeating what he said. Do this. I'll repeat it again, the first one, to get the clarification. Can you please restate what you just said? First is the first one. Second one, I did not understand you. Can you please repeat? These are the 2 statements that you can make use of it so that you can get the clarification from the others about the topics or opinion what they have just discussed. This is the best way of getting it. Next word. Apart from the above, you can try the following. What are the things? Practice. Speak out loud. Whatever thought that comes in your mind with respect to subject, come over the hidden inhabitation. Don't worry, what would these things, leave it all these things. Whatever thoughts that comes into your mind, express it in a loud, confident way. In a loud means not shouting it. Gain the attention. How do you gain the attention of others in a group discussion? Not that when others are speaking, interrupt them and you start talking. No, please raise your hands. Show them that you need an attention now. When you raise the hands, the convener or the person who is conducting the group discussion will obviously provide you a chance to speak. Or others who are talking thinks that, oh, now it's a time, let me provide a chance to this patient. So this is how you gain the attention. Gain the attention and express what you thought. And in order to proceed with the group discussion, to get your vocabularies continuous, and also in order to communicate properly, practice reading. How to read? It is not that reading in your mind. When you are alone, please take it, might be a textbook, magazine, whatever it might be. Read in a loud voice. Take any kind of books, newspaper, anything. Read it loud enough so that when you read it loud, you will experience your pronunciation and how different vocabularies are pronounced by you. Please read it in a loud noise. Next, watch news on a popular channels, English channels. So do not watch other kind of channels where they don't pronounce properly. There are a lot of English channels. I don't precisely point out any news channel. Take up some international news channels. Okay, they look into those news channels. Look into the pronunciation. Hear how they pronounce, how they enact with respect to the pronunciation, their body language, everything. Please watch those news channels. From group which others speak in English, as much as possible, form the groups. So with your friends, gather a group and always try to have a conversation in English. This would really help you to crack your GDs. Next, there are few parameters on which you are judged during the GDs. Let us look what are those parameters. So you might have seen, I told you in the beginning of the session, the panelist or the judges in a group discussion will judge individual person based on lot of parameters. Let us see what are those parameters. So there might be all the parameters considered, or some of the judges or the groups or panelists may select some of the few parameters. It is left to them. So what are those parameters? Let us recall those parameters. First one, the first parameter that a person or a participant is judged is the communication skill. The second one is the subject knowledge. That's why you will be given 5 or 10 minutes in order to prepare for the GD in advance. Okay, so talk always with respect to subject. When you are talking in a GD, do not leave the subject and talk. So though you might be moving out of the subject, it's your responsibility to understand it and come back to the subject. Don't leave the subject and talk beyond the topic. Next, body language and the appearance is very important. When we talk about the body language, that's why I asked you to look into the popular international news channels. There, how politely and very decently they dress it, how decently they talk about, and also their appearance matters. How you appear is the first impression that you make on the recruitage. So your body language should be very decent, not that you wave your hands like this, sit in awkward position, bending that. Sit in a proper formal way. So that is the thing in the body language and appearance. Dress neatly. This is the very important. Next one, listening power is also important. When someone is speaking about the topic, please do listen. You might think that I have no points to talk in this session, so let me turn out here and there, those things. I have seen many a times when the students are in the GD, they look here and there. When others are speaking, they look here and there, peep out of the window. Don't do that, because you've been watched even when others are talking. Because if you behave decently, it is the respect that you are showing to other speakers. And second one, when you listen, you get some points for you to talk from other speech. So please listen. Next one is the attitude. They are looking for your attitude there. Next is the confidence level that they look in your speech. How confidently you speak. Many of time students talk hesitatingly. Don't do that. Why do you want to get afraid of? Is it a crime? No. If you make a mistake, no problem. Whatever you say, talk it in a confident way. Speak very confidently. That would bring the acceptance with respect to all the participants. Next, they look for the leadership skills. How well you manage the situation, how well you convince the others is very important. Next, the way of presenting the views. It is not that you are enforcing or forcing others to accept it. It is how well you present it in order to convince others is the way they are looking for it. Next, interaction skill. How well you interact with others. It is not that you dominate the session. You are supposed to support one another and still continue with your conversation. Continue with convincing others with interaction with others. Not that alone you speak for the whole period of time and convince others. No. You are supposed to give opportunity for others to speak, others to interact. In spite of that, how well you convince others is the point here. Next, decision making ability. You need to make a decisions here. Sometimes whatever you have spoken already might be wrong. You will be able to assess that you are wrong after others speak up. So you should make a decision whether to stick on to the same thing or switch over to the other things. It is left to the subject and the situation. Next, problem solving skills is also looked into that process. And finally, critical thinking aspects are assessed there. How well you think of, how well you think and enact there. I mean to say, react to the situation. So thinking capability for the critical situation is very important. And finally, how open-minded you are, because you should be in a situation to accept others' opinions also. So these are the few parameters that mainly look into one person's or each candidate's GD parameters that has been assessed with respect to the process of GD. So these are the different parameters they look into it. So I'll wind up this session here. So in the next session, we'll be taking about why do we need to take up this GD as an important process, and also we'll see the important characteristics that makes a person with respect to an effective communication. So what are the parameters that needs to be considered in order to have an effective communication? So today we have discussed about the group discussion, what is you mean by a group discussion, who holds the group discussion, and how is GD conducted, why GD is so important. We have also seen the words that affects the GD personally with respect to filler words, link words, and also we have seen how to get empathy from others, and we have seen how to express or what kind of statements to be made in order to express our agreement or opinion saying yes, and how to disagree with other statement. And we have also seen the various parameters on which the individual participants are judged on a group discussion. These are the things I had wished to discuss in this session. Thank you very much.